Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Haruka Junko and I am the Robotech Master DMing the wonderfully made live play for Strange Machine Games of the Arcadia module. Now, I will first have to do a quick shout out to the writers of Arcadia, Justin Grolk, Timothy Grolk, and Caleb Spurlock, who have put a lot of effort to make this book ready for the Kickstarter, which is happening right now alongside this, and was funded in the first 30 minutes, I believe it was. We're now up to 52,000, so if you do want to get in on the action, get these wonderfully made books with from people who have made it all of with all of their effort to try and show this off, then I'm going to drop that in the chat now. Hit that up, look it over, and hopefully I'll be able to convince you guys here that this system is definitely a something worth at least checking out. Now, with that going ahead, I'm going to just read out a quick thing here from the beginning of the Arcadia book. The Robotech Academies stand as the pinnacles of learning in a new age of mankind. Now, as the Third Robotech War ends and the conflicts of the local group wrap up, the galaxy begins to enter a period of peace. At Mars, in the halls of Arcadia Academy, a new adventure is about to unfold, and an unexpected center of conflicts awaits the next generation. Arcadia awaits. And with that, I am going to turn it over to my lovely guests who are here to play in the game themselves and let them introduce themselves and their characters.
Hi, I am Jezebel, and this is actually going to be one of my first times to play Robotech by Strange Machine Games. I've played a little bit before, but I'm really excited to get to play with some folks who know the game. I will be playing a hopeful future Marine named Marzana Nowak. She's called Marzi for short. She is a Zentradi Marine, really excited to be here, and I'm sure she's not going to get into any trouble at this academy. Everything's going to be great in her first day of school.
Yes, of course, nothing bad ever happens on the first day
No.
of school.
I'm Kedrick, and I'm going to be playing a self-named character, Kedrick. He's Carbaran, I believe is how that's pronounced. And he is a young for his species, but I believe I'm going to be in my over 100 years old. So young is a relative term. And I'm attending the Robotech Academy with hopes of becoming an officer at some point and piloting a starship.
And last up, we have our last guest of the day.
Those typical start of stream technical difficulties.
Yes, we'll be working on getting that done real quick, but with that, I'm going to shift over to the main screen here, which I switch back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
No, okay, now I can't. If it's probably possible I can't hear you now. All right, let's see here. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
I hear you. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Let's see here. Can people hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, finally, I can hear everybody, and nothing has gone wrong. Everybody just ignored the last 2 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, hello. I am Snickets, and apparently I have been bitten by the first technical goblin of the day. Hopefully that'll be the last one, but otherwise. I've actually never played this system before, but I am familiar with the old Palladium system from many years ago. But I am hoping that this one is runs just a little bit smoother than that last one. That one had a lot of let's say character. We'll call it character. Otherwise, today I will be playing the character named Jaeto Torina, a very young, very androgynous guy who is hoping to be a technician in this grand government of ours, even though he kind of thinks it's kind of, just unnecessary paperwork. Why can't you just let him just do whatever he needs without, actually going to school? I mean, come on, you learn on the job, right? No, that's not how things work. Oh, well, crap. Okay, well, off to school we go.
And with that, we have our wonderful cast here who will be joining us as we start this wonderful adventure. And to start us, we're actually going to go to uh, Kadirk, right?
Yes, sir.
Ah, good. I'm gonna finally learn it. But with that, a shuttle flight, as the shuttle flight closes on Olympus Station, those with window views can see the large orbiting object in place above Mars. Its massive body is an hourglass shape with large enveloping docking pylons which seem to consume and surround vessels. Four of these pylons sit at the top of the structure and four below, each housing the main body of an Ikazuchi within it. At the station center are large hangars and docks. The shuttle slowly pulls toward the massive open maw of the hangar, and announcements come over in the cabin's loudspeaker. The flight crew to inform the many passengers their imminent arrival to Olympus Station. As the cabin crew hurry back and forth, many different passengers prepare for arrival as they clean up their seats and areas before landing. And as these commercial passengers approach, anyone with a window seat or near enough is able to see the various shuttles and naval vessels forming the heavy traffic of Olympus Station. And this is where you find yourself as you're sitting in rather uncomfortably, mind you, in one of these chairs, which the humans have designed, of course, much too small for a Kabaran of your stature. And and as you look across at this station, you hear someone next to you speak up. Is this your first time coming to Olympus?
Yes, yeah, this is my first time really going too many places. So I'm really looking forward to getting out here and exploring the galaxy a bit more.
Do you look at who spoke to you?
Yes, I do. I look over.
Alright. They seem to be a pale with a bright and active demeanor. Dark black hair, single green highlighted stripe through it that slicks back, and tan brown skin that is clear and smooth. This man wears a full gray suit with a red tie and formal shoes. His eyes a dark brown that borders on black. His bright smile and facial features make him appear like a dapper gentleman and a smooth personality. My name's Peter Lowe, and it's going to be. I'm glad that you've decided to come traveling here. I assume you're one of the many new students going to the academy.
I am, yes. I'm quite excited to get started with my studies. It's nice to meet you. I'm Kedrick Nettles.
It's nice to meet you too. My name is Peter Lowe, and he offers a hand to shake your large paw.
I reach out my paw and completely engulf his tiny human sized hand as I shake it rigorously.
And of course, he manages to shake back as best as he can. As the shuttle slowly comes to a halt, and you feel the jarring shake as the magnetic clamps lock into place and the docking cable and the docking ports extend out to link to the shuttle. And at this point, he looks forward and starts standing up. Well, it looks like we've arrived at our destination. I will hopefully be seeing you around.
Sounds good. I'm sure we'll have opportunity to bump into each other again.
Indeed. And with that, he takes a small briefcase out of the overhead storage and starts leaving with many of the other passengers. Unfortunately, due to your size and how rather pushy humans are on business trips or maybe other fellow students, you're unfortunately stuck waiting a small bit before you can depart. But as you do, we're going to quickly switch over to the other two who are sitting in the main terminal of Olympus Station, a vast commercial and rest area like any other air or starport for visitors to wait in between flights. The entire area extends into the facility and is at least 200 meters across in length. The terminal allows access to the various gates where shuttles are boarded and disembarked from. The terminal has massive reinforced transparent metal window that runs the length between the gates and the main hangar, and the flight control can be observed. The entire terminal is bustling with activity, and there are people everywhere. More than a few aliens present within the terminal, standing out clearly amongst the crowds of humans. There are various shops, restaurants, cafes, and other amenities. There are dozens of lounges, some which are reserved for certain guests, where people can relax and rest, and dozens of bathrooms for travelers to make use of. There are several security exits that lead to other parts of the station. Those doors and cameras, along with guards, mark their position. At the same time, also requires to be key cards to get through. The entire station is slightly lighter than Earth's gravity. That is almost the same as what most humans are used to, ensuring that people are not stuck in zero gravity, but for some, the discomfort is noticeable. Luckily for you, brain failing me again, Jato, having spent a lot of time on ships, lower gravity is something you're not really, against. It's normal for you. And the bustling of the terminal reminds you of how ships can get when they're docked in ports or when you dock at ports and you're either dropping off cargo or passing or taking a time out on shore leave. And for you, Marzi, it's cramped, it's thick, and your military mind sees all of this bustling crowd and everyone that could be a possible threat. But at the same time, you've, over the years, like most Entrada, you've likely honed at least a little bit of this combat sense so you're not constantly on edge.
Yes, but I know the location of every suite that I want to try here, and I am using my combat senses, my perception, to find like every snack that I want to grab as I'm like passing these stalls.
Yep, no, I get that. And luckily, they're all easily accessible. And the one does sit out and strike you as interesting amongst the rest. It looks to be a food cart driven by a Kabaran, who
Ooh.
and he's dressed up in what one would assume is or what one would expect of like a normal chef, a full nice white clothing, a chef's hat along with an apron, and he's calling out, "Come get fresh Kabaran delicacies for all here."
I want to try a Kabaran delicacy, so I'm gonna like run over there and ask for one.
Ah, hello there.
Hi.
What would you like? I have Kabaran noodles. I have Kabaran meats. I have kebab made of Kabaran animal.
Ooh, I want one of those kebabs. One of
Ah,
those big ones.
the big kebab. Good choice. And he pulls off, a large rotisserie, a kebab that has just whatever this animal was. It was larger than a dog, And it seems like Kabarans don't take small portion sizes in the
That's
slightest.
good. That's good. Because neither do I.
Gurlos is good for you. It is a strong tunnel beast and has a good taste to it. And he hands it over, and you pay with your money that you have, and you take a bite into it, and it's almost like a gamey texture, but it's undercut by what seems to be a good amount of seasoning and preparation that has gone into it to give it a slight spicy flavor, but with also a undertone of almost like smokiness.
This is really good. Just like talking with her mouth full.
Ah, I knew people around here would like Gurlos. Gurlos is unfortunately quite rare out here, so getting these is very difficult. But I am glad you have chosen well, small female.
I'm not small. Well, not always. But anyway, thank you.
And with that, Jato, what are you heading? What are you doing about in this massive terminal?
Um, I imagine Jato is probably just watching ships pass by. If this were some sort of anime scene, he would be sitting down and probably has maybe he has his headphones in, just kind of ignoring everyone as possible, trying to give off the aura of "don't bother me" while he's sitting and watching ships pass by. And you can get a sense that he's much more interested in ships and in things rather than the people around them.
Yep.
Otherwise, he's just listening for, I guess, any sort of like shuttles or boarding procedures, whatever his next destination is going to be. He's keeping an ear out for that. But otherwise, trying his best to ignore everybody else.
Yeah. And while the hustle and bustle of people is all around you, you can luckily find a seat that's away from most everyone, and you can watch clearly out through the large reinforced glass window as shuttles come and go, cargo dropped, people delivered. A Kabaran leaving a shuttle that looks like it's sized mainly for humans. And you also see in the background, slowly approaching port, one of the large Ikazuchis, which is coming into dock, it seems, in one of the nearby docking ports. And though it isn't in view for long, you can see the full detail of it as it slowly drifts into the capital ship docks that are around the area past the biodome, though you are pretty sure you're not allowed to get into that area.
So I take it that this station, Olympia Station, it services both civilian traffic as well as military traffic.
Oh yes, as far as you know, there's a full CDF detachment here, along with this being a major point for UEDF or rather UEF ships coming back from either Sentinel space or patrolling the local area around Mars to make sure that that Invid don't come this way.
That makes sense. Okay.
From a
Luckily,
sense of scale, is it thousands of people, tens of thousands?
for the Ikazuchi, or
No, for
oh,
the
For
base.
the airport, the spaceport.
this is a
Yeah.
rather massive spaceport. It's like a large city held within this hourglass. Likely two large cities just connected in the middle. Not to mention with all of the capital ships coming in, which are basically their own cities, there is hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people here.
All right. Well, I suppose Jato is just doing a mental tally of ships coming, ships going, cargoes that would be of interest, things things of that sort. Much more interested in the tech rather than the people around him.
Of course, occasionally you see the flight control, the people in there either possibly directing things or calling out, shuttle 517 coming in from coming in from the surface of Mars. Please report to Docking Bay 5. All passengers, your flight has been delayed by 15 minutes while the ship is refueled due to atmospheric troubles down on the planet of Mars. Along with that, you see what looks to be people handling cargo, which some of that it might likely be some of your baggage also that is being moved around, taken off, and actually taken out this way out of the station, or out of the main area into what looks to be where the baggage storage area before being moved towards different flights as needed. You also do get to see that just a little bit outside on the space you have, or outside, you can see the larger military hangar that is nearby. One of these positioned around every terminal with the situation with just a CDF deployment inside of it. And as you see a combat fighter actually coming in for landing at the time. And these look like basically like a Y-wing.
Okay.
But with that, is anyone else interested in exploring the station, or is everyone else just gonna wait in the terminal? Because there is also the biodome area if you decide to go in there.
Ooh, what's that?
Well, the biodome, from what you understand, is an onboard recreational park almost.
Okay, I want to go in there with my Gorlos meat cone. I'm gonna take that. Go into the theme park. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as you enter in, this extension onto the terminal is a luscious and beautiful recreation of a small botanical garden within the station, with holographic systems to provide a more relaxing experience to those visiting the station. The biodome was expected to grow houses more to house more civilians on the station permanently, but those sections are still under construction and closed off behind bulkheads. The biodome currently is mostly a nature park, or a natural park with various rest areas and places to sit and relax beyond a terminal. Passing through the biodome, the, as far as you know, the only way to reach the capital docks on in the upper section of the station without going through the corridors that was designed to provide a place of rest for many of the naval personnel as well.
So
It's
there's no rides, right? It's a nature park.
yeah,
Is that
it's a verdant,
okay?
like
Oh.
semi-natural park. You know, it's the beauty of the moment kind of place. You know.
Yeah, I get you. She kind of looks around and her face falls a little when she realizes that there's no like roller coasters or rides or anything like that. It's not that type of park, but she kind of looks around, munching on her snack and enjoying the scenery because it is nice.
Yeah, and it's kept as a nice verdant park with others growing part of its dome like a structure housed on top, slowly expanding Olympus Station. It resembles park spaces with plenty of room. The dome itself is 500 meters long currently, and the roof is about 70 meters in height, and equipped with a somewhat operational holographic projection system, which is displaying a wonderful blue sky set above this park. There's even a lake in here that they have painstakingly brought in, it seems, with a small fountain in the middle.
So, having been cramped up on this shuttle for I don't even know how long, I spot this biodome area attached to the terminal and decide that it'd be a great idea to go for a stretch, get a little bit of a walk in,
That makes
take in the
sense.
sights.
You also enter in, and you do see this, what looks to be a small humanoid female. It's hard to tell if they're Praxian or human or Tyrolean or Zentradi from behind due to the fact that they all look quite the same, unfortunately. But you do see them eating a rather large, like, meat cone of Gurlos, it seems. You can tell the smell almost instantly when you get there.
I catch a whiff of this smell from home and walk up to this individual and quite introduce myself. Hey, I'm Kedrick, and I couldn't help but smell that delicious food. Do you mind if I ask where you got it?
Hi, I'm Marzi. Yeah, I just bought this from a vendor. He said this was a delicacy, a Kabaran delicacy. It's really good.
Oh,
Oh,
it
you're a
is.
Kabaran!
I
Oh,
am.
that makes sense. Okay. You want some? And she just like sticks it out like towards your face.
Kedrick kind of takes a small step back, not expecting that sudden action. No, I'm good for now. I will definitely look into getting some of my own later, though.
Okay.
But as you two are talking in the biodome, Jato, you notice that there's something interesting happening out in space.
Uh-oh.
There seems
Okay.
to be a shuttle, one of the civilian-looking shuttles, a Pegasus class, coming in towards the military hangar. And it's going quite fast from what you're seeing.
Do I notice that if there's any sort of distress, is it being escorted, or maybe are there engines like, I don't know, sparking off or something of that? Is anything in not other than it's going towards the military sector? Do I notice anything about it?
Don't notice anything, but I will have you give me an observe roll. So to do
All right.
this, you will select 2 of your skills, and you can either limit it to your burnout, so that way you don't take stress from this action, if their total value goes above your burnout, which right now is 5, or you can go above burnout if you want to roll more dice to kind of get a more of a feel of this situation.
I don't. I guess I don't feel that it would be. I don't want to go into burnout territory yet, but all right. I'll go ahead and roll a skill. Okay, so as far as I know in this system, is that you choose 2 skills and you combine their rolls. Is that
Yep.
how it works?
You take 2 skills, you combine their values, and that is how many d6s you're rolling. And
Okay.
so we're looking for 5s or 6s. 6s count for 2.
All right. I will call upon my skill of one is scanning sweep. With a keen eye, you focus on and learn details.
Mhm.
I must focus on it. And the other one is science that. You use your extensive knowledge of science to understand and solve problems. I have a value of 3 in both, so I will roll 66.
Well, you can limit it to
Slash.
5 if you want to, because if you do roll 6 because that's over your burnout, you will take a point of stress.
Oh, I see. That's how burnout works. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And now, one thing I will note is later on when you do have equipment suites and such, equipment suites will never affect burnout, as you're working smarter, not harder.
All right. I will go ahead and roll 5d6 so I don't go over burnout. Rolling dice. Okay.
All right.
Let's see here. Yep. Looks
So,
like I only have 1 fail.
yep. So you
Well, you
have
didn't tell me the difficulty, so.
Yep. So you had 4 total successes, and with that, you don't notice anything off about the shuttle, but you do know that the flight control does seem a little more anxious and confused, as they seem to have a problem either there or with the shuttle. And
All
eventually,
right.
the shuttle seems to pass into the military hangar. Though there's no explosion or anything, so it's possible it landed safely, or maybe there was a pilot error, or maybe even just one of the pilots possibly had something happen to them.
Interesting. Okay. I will definitely take a note of that. That there seemed to have been landed in a very unusual spot. But I don't think Jato will inquire about it too much more. They're not going to go like to some authority and go, "Hey, did you know that this sort of thing happened over here?"
Yeah.
I think Jato is actually now that they probably got impatient waiting wherever they were, and they're going to go check out this whole nature business in the biodome area that they've heard so much about. That ships don't tend to carry around with them, where these trees and grass that I have heard so much about.
Well,
I'll make my way
luckily,
over there.
as you start passing through the hallway, you do notice that some security guards do seem to be moving towards the military hangar, excuse me. But they don't pay you too much mind. They seemingly are. They're doing the we have to go over there, but let's not panic people speed walk.
Ah, okay. The calm, everything's calm, everything's great. Yes, of course.
Yes.
As they sea shuffle. Okay.
And eventually you make it into the biodome, and it's green. It's blue. It's warm. Things that normally don't exist on a spaceship, or at least on many of the ones you've been on. On some of the maybe the one larger military vessels, maybe, but with the ships you've been on, they've never had something like this, especially this large. I mean, 700 meters is larger than most of the transports you've been on.
Mm.
In fact, it's nearing the size of some smaller Zentradi vessels. But it's something different, and there's just water left in the open here, in a pool. But it doesn't seem to be a concern for the people around them. No flooding. It almost like they're fine with letting this flooding happen almost.
All right. I suppose as soon as Jato enters, they notice that first thing they pick up on is that everything smells completely different. Uh, I guess on a ship, you'll usually smell oils and all sorts of synthetic things, and everything here just feels a little off. So they're going to spend just a bit of time getting their nose used to all the different scents and such, and things like that. It's a little weird seeing them uh, maybe walk around, going up to a tree, smelling the tree. It's a little weird, but you know,
Yeah, the rest of you guys just see this ambiguously gendered person just walking up to a tree and sniffing it. Like, do you lick the tree?
No, not that curious, not yet.
Had to make sure. You know, you're not eating a leaf that's like flowing in the wind.
Well, okay, if we want to have that one scene from that one anime, maybe later I'll reference that. Yes.
Yeah, you just see this guy like, or you see this person just walk up to a tree and just like along the side of the bark, kind of like getting it close to get a real good smell, and it's hard to place the smell. It's without knowing the terms, it's natural is the best way you could say it.
I suppose I guess the joke would is everything defaults to earthy. If they
Yeah.
don't know it, it's natural. It's earthy. Yeah, there we go. Earthy, very earthy.
Yep.
So much earth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Kedrick when I see them doing this and say, "Do you think they need a meat cone? Because they look like they're hungry."
He does look hungry.
Yeah, maybe we should offer.
So do you
Alright.
wander on over?
Yeah, I'm gonna wander over.
Okay.
I'll follow.
So, Jato, as you finish sniffing this very earthy tree, of course it's very earthy, or maybe Marsy these days, since Earth's not really, you're not able to get to it anymore. But
Right, but it's still the gold standard by
Yeah.
which everything else is judged. Mars will never be Earth-like, or maybe, well, we'll see.
but as you
It'll be a
turn,
while.
as you turn around, you suddenly see this. You see this other humanoid along with a Kabaran seemingly walking up to you, and she's holding a large meat cone of unidentifiable meat.
Jato gets a sense that the first thing that comes to Jato's mind is, oh, they're here to peddle some foods or some weird things to me. And it's like no, thank you. I'm just checking things out. I'm good. I'm not hungry. I don't need to buy any whatever you're offering. I'm okay.
Oh no, I wasn't
Thank
gonna
you.
sell it. I was just offering it to you if you're hungry or if you want to smell it. It smells really
Oh.
good.
Okay, and I guess I do take a very cautious sniff, as I'm sure as Marzi is holding this thing out, and perhaps a little too. But or how do Zentradi feel about personal space? I don't quite can't quite figure out.
It
Is that
like humans, it varies between them. Some of them are fine being up close and personal. Others are, you know, no, you uh, you can take 5 or 10 or 15 feet back.
I suppose if we were to, I guess, if this were like some sort of anime episode, you'd see. I guess this would be the scene where all the characters are all in the frame at the same time, and I suppose Kadurk, being the Kabaran, is probably the largest amongst the group, and then Marzi, despite being a Zentradi, and you're kind of small compared to what they're,
I'm not
and
small.
then well, okay, but then compared to Jato is basically maybe two heads below the size of everybody else for a normal human. So everybody to Jato is very, very tall. So I guess he'll probably gauge and keep his distance as two strangers are approaching him, and apparently not offering anything other than to smell this meat cone in his general direction. He's very cautious, but then he'll notice is just like, I see. Thank you. Thank you for that experience. I appreciate that.
You're
And that
welcome.
they'll turn around and basically, hopefully, try to seem off in their own world, and hopefully these two weirdos will wander away, giving off the tone of that. I'm okay, thank you.
Marzi doesn't go anywhere. She's just kind of like awkwardly standing there.
Jato, sorry.
Actually, real quick, are
Mhm.
we? So, I assume that our school has uniforms. Are we? We've just traveled. Some of us have just traveled in. I know Kadurk just came in from a flight, and like we're just kind of here. But are we like any of us? Are you dressed in the school uniform already? Or are you just wearing like everyday clothes?
I leave that
I
up to you
think I'm
guys.
in everyday clothes.
Okay. Then never
Um,
mind. There goes my theory that she could figure. Never mind.
I suppose as Jato notices that you aren't quite going away, they'll try and make an awkward first impression. It's like, so he probably notices based upon your skin tone. It's like, so you're a Zentradi, but you're micronized. I guess why are you micronized? That
Oh,
sorry,
so that's actually a point in the lore. After Chiron had his rebellion rise up with the Zentradi remnants, the new United Earth government decided to ban the macrozinization of all Zentradi due to the fact that of how much damage they had caused to New Macross City.
I see.
This is
Okay.
this is something that more or less everyone knows. There's also plenty of rumors that not all Zentradi actually followed the rules.
Okay, I'll change my question to hey, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be macronized?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I could just step on people who bothered me, or just step over this if I didn't want to be here. But unfortunately, I'm just me.
Well,
I
even at your big size, you fit in a space like this, right? As make
I
the
think
hand
so.
gesture, I just do.
It would be kind of hard if I was big though. Like I wouldn't fit on in shuttle seats or in a classroom or anything.
Edric rubs
Classroom.
his lower back a bit. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Jato says, "Oh, a classroom, huh? Are you going down to Arcadia Academy?"
Yeah, I get to start there really soon. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to go to Arcadia Academy forever. And she just like gushes.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately uh, to get anywhere in this world, you kind of need to learn things. So I'm actually heading there myself whenever the next flight down is supposed to go. So we might be ending up at the same place.
Oh, we might be classmates. That's awesome. Good to meet you.
And I guess at this point in time is actually probably when we actually introduce ourselves to each other. Since we don't actually know each other's names yet. So yes, I'll do by the standard human uh, introducing myself, even though they're probably still pretty standoffish with all these strangers about.
It's
Ketter follows suit and introduces himself. I'll also say that I'm planning to attend the academy here as well.
Yay! We can be classmates too. We should all get meat cones.
We
Well,
should.
hmm, that might actually not be a bad idea. On the way here, I noticed there was a civilian shuttle that actually was traveling into the military sector. That in itself, I mean, it does happen on occasion, but it usually indicates that there's an emergency. So, and I did see some security staff kind of rushing to that area. So, I don't know. This place might actually be a little bit more busy than not. So maybe we should get our affairs in order just in case we have to. I don't know, move about in a hurry.
with that. It sounds like you guys are going to head back to the terminal and grab meat cones to enjoy as you talk about your new student lives together.
Yes.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
So
Marzi will get another meat cone.
you probably haven't even finished off the first one yet.
No, she hasn't.
But as the
You
three
don't
of
know
you,
where she's gonna put it.
well, she's got two hands, luckily.
True.
And at least one pocket. Just put it in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
fits there, right?
Snacks for later.
But as you guys make it back into the terminal, you start to notice there's a little more of a hubbub before, as you start nearing the same Kavarin who had been offering meat cones. You're off at the other end of the terminal. The sounds of gunfire as going off into the air, and quickly, as if they had just suddenly appeared out of nothing, several armed soldiers seem to just pop out of existence and start directing people, pushing people, forcing people to the side, shooting into the air, and you can even see off into the flight control area. It seems to have been fully taken over by multiple different people. It looks like.
Okay. I think Jato is kind of seeing this as I was gonna say. I don't think we want to be here right now. Let's try and get out of here. And I want to think. Let's see here. I do still have the eidectic memory talent, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that maybe I think maybe Jato probably has been like taking in the layout of the space terminal. Maybe they looked over an emergency exit plan. Just in case something happens. Take emergency exits are located here, here, and here, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll try and rely on that. And
All right. In that case, if you want to try and lead the group out or try to escape, quickly, I will need an obscure test from you. This is like you're going to
all
try and
right.
hide yourself, and I'll need one from the rest of you if you're also going to try and like hide and get out of here before whoever these people are just take over.
So, just to clarify, these
Mm.
people don't seem to be wearing like the UE. Is it UEF at this point? I
Yeah,
don't.
it's the UEF. They're wearing mostly if I remember correctly, these guys are just wearing normal armor. They don't seem to have any insignias on them, except
Okay.
yeah, they don't seem to have any insignias or anything on them that immediately identifies them with whatever. But you're pretty sure that the UEF wouldn't be shooting into the roof of a civilian terminal to try and corral people.
I hope not. Are they like mostly human, or are they like a mix of people, or?
They seem to be entirely human by their stature, or at
Okay.
least humanoid.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay, let's see. An obscure test. Okay, let's see. That is a support action. Okay,
Mhm.
let me see if I can. I don't think I actually have any relevant skills towards
Well,
that, but
here's the
okay.
wonderful thing.
Okay.
Your skills are, think of them more like approaches to problems. These are not just, I can fix it, of course, can be applied to a technical thing,
Okay.
but you can also apply it to, let's say, a social situation. You're trying to, um, fix, maybe you had a social faux pas and you're trying to, brush it off, or maybe you're trying to, uh, you almost got spotted by a guy and you're trying to quickly, get out of there before he rounds the corner and spots you.
Okay. In that case, I think I'll use my scanning sweep ability
Hmm.
skill, and as along with the rapid fire skill, I can imagine them basically looking out and seeing details. And it's like, okay, that place, okay, that won't work. That won't work. That's too small. That place looks weird. Okay, maybe this way,
Hmm.
and they'll just rattle off like, okay, this location maybe don't want to be here. Maybe over there instead. So, all
Kadirk
right.
and Marzana, I will also need an obscure test from you guys if you're also trying to escape with them.
Okay.
Yep.
One sec.
So I'm like
Oof.
really new to the skill system here as
Yep.
well. So if I pick, you said pick 2 skills.
Yep, you pick 2 skills, and their
Okay.
values is how many d6s you roll.
Okay. So if I picked, let's say, contacts everywhere,
Mhm.
and use that to ask the Kabaran with the cart that we're standing next to if he knows the quickest way out of here, or if
Mhm.
there's an easy way out of here, like a back entrance behind some of these stalls and stuff.
Yeah, no, that could
And then
work.
maybe cover your buddy. I've got these 2 um, individuals that I've kind of made friends here with, so I'm gonna, try to usher them out in this direction that hopefully the Kabaran gives us.
All right, that sounds good to me.
Okay. And oh yeah, you're gonna roll. I'm still looking at mine too.
Yep, take your time. To offer a suggestion, I do think that man at arms and maybe close quarters, because there's so many people, could work here for you.
Yeah, so I think I'll definitely use Man at Arms to kind of just rely on like the bit of tactical training I've had of like how do we like stealthily move out of an area, like breaking contact, using all that, and then trying to keep the danger close enough that I can keep an eye on them, so to speak, and try to get out in plain sight. So I will roll that, and that doesn't look great, but
Uh,
2 successes.
yeah, it's 2 successes,
oh,
2
two.
successes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
So
that's right,
every
5
single,
and 6.
yep, every single 5 counts as 1. Every 6
Okay,
counts as 2. And so
2.
as you guys start trying to quickly get out, the Kavaran goes, and the Kavaran's looking around, and you can see that he's obviously, on edge now because there's gunfire. And he quickly looks to the side. There, vent, go, as he points out a rather large air duct that you could possibly get into. It's behind one of the stands. And as you guys start going, Marzana and Kaderk, you manage to actually get inside. But Jato, you start moving towards it, but in your small moment of analysis paralysis, identifying the best way, one of the terrorists grabs you by the back of the neck and starts shoving you over into a corner, while the rest of the civilians in the main terminal.
Oh no. Curse my extremely small stature.
And the other two though manage to escape out into the air vents, having seen that your newest friend is not behind you though.
Where's Jato?
Ketter looks behind him, and he's like, "He was right behind me. Where did he go?"
Oh no.
I
don't know.
Do I think that, like, is it just one guy dragging him away? Do I think I could leap back out of this vent and overpower him?
You could try, but this man does have a gun. Which is, unfortunately, the ultimate equalizer.
But he's distracted.
If you wanted to try to quickly, jump him in order to...
I think that's what a character would do. He's loyal, he's fearless.
Alright. So you're gonna try and bust out of... You're gonna come back out of the vent and try to get the dude that's grabbing Jato. So in this case, I'm gonna need... So, I'm... Marzana, are you gonna help out, or are you gonna stay in the vents? Try to, keep an eye out.
You know what? I'll help out. Like, as soon as I see this going down, I want in on this.
Alright, so if you guys wanted to, so Jato, if you want to try and get out of this man's grasp, you'll have to roll for that. But at the same time, Kaderik and Marzana, if you guys want to work together with an attack roll on this guy or a redirect to force him to drop your newest friend, if you don't think that you can possibly get through his combat armor, which is Brigandine armor, it's a UEF early edition armor.
Yeah, I think I would be focused more on trying to knock him down or break his grasp on Jato. Possibly, knock the weapon out of his hand or something along those lines.
All right. In that case, a redirect would work wonderful for that. And Marzana, if you wanted to, you could roll an assist action to aid, to basically, when you roll for him, all of your successes add on to his for his action.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or reverse, either way.
I will use, so we also use skills for this as well?
Yep. Just choose 2 skills, and if you do want to, remember you can limit your skills down so you don't go over your burnout of 5 and suffer stress.
That's right. Okay. Then...
So, would this be an opportunity to use my lead the charge talent?
Lead the charge. That could be an interesting one to use. Give me 1 second to check the wording on that. As my PDF reader slowly crawls open.
It's on page 77.
Thank you.
Oh, here it is. When you charge into combat, you inspire a righteous fury in those who follow your lead. In the first round of combat, if you are the first one to enter or initiate it, half of those under your command can make rerolls to any or all actions.
Yep. So in this case, I'd say that you could allow one of your 2 friends to reroll if their test does not go too well.
Okay. Well, I would say that that's Jato in this case. They are trying to escape the grasp of this hostile individual.
Mm-hmm.
And so for my skills here that I'm rolling, I'm going to use Cover Your Buddy and Rally Cry.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be particularly stealthy as I charge out of this vent and charge at this guy. I'm going to try and catch his attention and get it away from Jato to give him a good chance.
Yep. You're giving him some of that cocaine bear energy.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
It's not that kind of campaign. It's okay. Well, all right. In that regard, I will use my rapid fire skill along with the science stat skill to basically try to focus on wriggling out of this guy's arms and my understanding of the human body and actually to do so.
All right.
All right. So roll. Let's see here. 5d. I don't want to use. Oh, that's only 5d. 5d6 anyway. So. All right, so
And you
roll
were
a
fine with
5d6
rolling over
and
burnout there, Kadir?
I am.
All
I
right.
don't recall exactly what that means. Do I build a point of stress or
Yep.
something?
So you will take a point of fatigue. You just mark one of the boxes for it.
Yep, got it.
When those fill out, you will have a mental break, which will have some negative effects on you, but it will clear your stress, as your
Okay.
character's pushed to their mental limit in the situation.
Are there other ways to reduce stress?
There are certain talents that can reduce it, and it will also reduce it 1 per day.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then
Coffee
yes,
break,
this is
which is the
perfect.
best talent. I didn't take it, but I love that one so much.
It's definitely one. It's definitely a great one in games where you don't have a lot of time to reduce stress.
Yeah.
So we have all. So we just need Jato to roll, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Looks like 3, 4 successes, maybe.
2 successes because unfortunately you're not at edge here.
Ah, that makes sense.
And have you rolled, Jenny?
No, I have not. I am going to jump. So I'm going to use close quarters and rapid fire to try to like run up while he's engaged with Kedrick and just jump on his back and just start like pummeling him with my tiny fists that I believe are mighty, of course. So, well, there's there's 2 successes because it's
Yep.
6.
And since you were
Okay.
aiding him, Kader gets those bonus 2 successes.
Heck
So
yeah.
Kader
Oh,
goes from.
and
Oh yes.
sorry, you also had the lead the charge talent to
I
have one of us
did,
reroll.
which means I think you get to reroll.
Yep. If
Yeah,
you
let
want
me
to
reroll.
reroll, you can, and you don't have to reroll the whole thing. You can reroll only the failed dice.
That's nice.
Okay. So I guess those are the you said only the 6 succeeded because I'm not
Yep.
I'm
So
at a
in this case,
disadvantage.
you
So.
could reroll the 2 4s, the 1 and 3.
Okay. Let's see here. Roll 4d6. So I'm gonna do that.
All right, that's
That was
another
another
2
2.
successes.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, with your combined efforts, you managed to, Jato, you managed to wriggle out of this man's grasp, and he's like, "Stop squirming, you little twerp, or else I'm gonna have to put a bullet in." And as he says that, which he looks like he's about to raise that gun and shoot you. This is a Wolf modular like laser weapon. It would be a no bueno if he shot it with you, or shot you with it rather.
Oh dear.
But as he does that, the sound of a bear's roar comes out from the nearby vent as Kaderik charges out and basically tackles the man. And Marzana quickly gets around him and starts hitting him in the head over and over. And the man's on the ground like, get off! And he drops his gun to the side as you guys manage to take him down and quickly, I assume quickly, get right back to the vents.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, do you pick up the gun?
Yes, get the gun.
Yeah,
Get
I'd
the
like
gun.
to try.
All right, yeah, no, I'll say you're able to easily get the gun with how well you guys did. You guys have knocked this man down and dazed him into next week. Unfortunately, you do notice that one of his friends notices you getting into the vents and tries to yell at you, but doesn't get a chance to take a shot at you as you guys get into the vent and get out of sight. And as you guys get a little further into the vent, hear a voice over the intercoms. "Attention all guests of Olympus Station. As of this moment, I must inform you that this station is under our control and you are all my hostages. So long as you cooperate, you won't be harmed. We merely require your cooperation in drawing the Martian government's attention. That way we might right a terrible injustice for the betterment of all mankind and Mars itself. If you fail to cooperate by sitting still, obeying my men, then they will deal with you using extreme efficiency. I advise nobody test me on this. All you do is need to remain calm, and this will all be over soon," says this sinister voice, almost sneering from the loudspeakers. And his tone speaks in hushed assurance and confidence. And it sounds like whoever this person is they've managed to take over the station. But one other thing you do get to spot before you go into the vents, out here in the main hangar, as you guys are quickly getting back inside, you see a rather peculiar fighter enter in, purple and black with the emblem of Ghost Squadron on it. And you notice, and you guys know this because this has been on the news for a while, Ghost Squadron is a rogue element of the UEF that follows T.R. Edwards, a crazed human supremacist whose forces have all been put across the most wanted of the UEF for a while now. However, it seems like Ghost Squadron has put their eyes onto this station, and unfortunately, you were unfortunately in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So Kedrick's gonna do kind of a low growl as the announcement wraps up, and I see this Ghost Squadron fighter landing, as he would probably have some firsthand knowledge of this, given his familiarity with what's gone on with the Sentinels and such back near his homeworld.
But you guys managed to escape into the vents and exit out into the corridors where, or actually, when you guys get into the vents, do you guys look for like the first exit you can, or do you guys stay in the vents and kind of go around? Or are you trying to get somewhere specific, maybe?
I think, well, I suppose getting out of the area is probably the first priority. Just because
Yeah, I guess.
one of the guards did actually see us,
Yeah,
enter the vent, so we don't want to stick around.
I agree with Jado. I think we should keep moving here and try and put some distance between us and the guards here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how extensive these events are, but I'm a really big bear, so
It's tight for you, but you can kind of like wiggle through,
Yeah, I'm not gonna make really good time here in these vents, folks. Maybe we can find somewhere to sneak out that doesn't have anybody else around. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm probably the last one in the vent since I stooped down to pick up that pistol, right? So.
Yes, it is a. Let me pull it up here again. And of course, my brain immediately loses, the spot I was at. It is a Wolf modular weapon. So it's like a pistol that can turn into a rifle.
Right.
Oh.
Yep. As we're climbing through these vents, I guess I'll, not quite a whisper, but I'll say a stage whisper. Talking to our companions here, I'll say, is anybody, particularly well trained or experienced with firearms? I mean, I've used my share, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert.
Me, I can do it.
Better go pass the firearm to his Zentradi companion here when he gets an opportunity.
And Margie, you having extensively trained with firearms, both as a Zentradi and for preparation to the Academy, you know that this is an M30 Wolf. It's one of the first modular weapons that the UEF used, and it can be converted. It uses a particle beam and has two forms, a pistol and a carbine. The carbine has a little bit of a stronger hit to it.
Okay, perfect. For now, while we are, how long does it take to transform? Is it pretty quick?
Oh, you can
configure.
Have you played Star Wars Republic Commando?
No, I
Okay.
haven't.
So you can slap this thing into carbine mode or pistol mode just really quickly.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep it in pistol mode while we're in these like little tunnels, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Right, yeah, and you guys manage to get further into the tunnels, and I'll say eventually you guys find an exit out at the other end of the biodome. And here, there doesn't actually seem to be any guards inside of the biodome, and with how large it is, it seems like they've either already run through trying to corral people in, or they seem to have, well, maybe just ignored it.
All right. Sounds like we're in the clear for now. And I whisper over to my companions, like, all right, that was. Well, first, thanks for getting me out of that situation. I
No
definitely don't want to
worries.
be. Um, okay, so we're in the clear for now. They've corralled everyone. They've definitely let everybody else know. My first thought is to get out of here, but if we're kind of on a space station, there's only so many places we can go, right? I know the size of this place is pretty big, but
Yep.
I don't know.
Now, if I recall from when we were first landing, there was mention of a larger military ship that was docking as well.
Mm-hmm. You know that it's actually, theoretically, you should be able to get through to it from here through one of the longer hallways.
So, I mean, I guess I'm trying to think here. It sounds like they have control of the station. Although there's a lot of people here, there has to be some form of resistance from the official military still going on, I would hope. So my thought is, trying to find a way towards where I think that might be. Having literally just arrived on the station, though,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I even got the tourist map when I sat down, so I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing.
I'll say that there's like a
Kidderk
little
likes a
map of the
plan.
station here, and you guys can see the general areas. It doesn't really go into huge detail about, specific areas like central power or the commander's stuff. It just limits that areas as off limits to civilians. Same with the military hangar and the cargo holds. It really only covers. This one is like a tourist, one of those tourist, Disney. Find
Yeah.
yourself on the map. And it really only shows like the terminal, like it points out the restaurants. There's actually a nice Italian joint, it says on here, that has a 4-star rating. So
Kidderk makes a note
that's
to check that out.
probably not important right now.
Not right now.
But with that though, you guys seem to be in the clear for now, and have a chance to catch your breaths and figure out where you want to go. What is surprising though is that with the military ship that just docked, you think that either Marines or reinforcements would have stormed out or tried to do something, but you haven't really heard much gunfire outside of what you presume are these terrorists.
So I think we should try and find somebody. I'm not sure there's a lot we're going to be able to do on our own, and honestly, I'm not sure I like my chances of staying hidden in this space station that's designed for tiny humans. I'd like to. I'd like to go see if we can check out this ship that docked and see if we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
All
How
right.
about it, Jato? Are you in for a little exploration, or?
Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my microphone died again. I need to switch headsets. Yeah, I was actually thinking, since we actually don't have a good lay of the land, so to speak. I know in Robotech, there's usually like little rolling, I guess, vending machines that they're basically like droid vending machines.
Mm-hmm.
Could Jato potentially go up to one and maybe mess around with it and tell it to go to the closest military checkpoint, and you know, since we don't know the lid, but perhaps this bot does instead.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll let you make a test to mess around with the robot and see if you can.
Okay,
So you
all
you
right.
find one of the cola machines and it's like, would you like a cola? But there's also a phone robot with a knife duct taped to it.
Wait,
What?
a knife duct taped to a phone robot?
Yeah, yeah.
Did
It's
I hear
like
that
it's
correctly?
like a it's like a phone that rolls a. It's like a phone. It's like
Oh,
a
I
phone
got
booth.
that part.
Yeah.
I got yeah. I remember that from one of the episodes of Robotech, and with
Yeah. No,
Midway
there
and all
seems
that.
to be just like
But
some
the
random knife strapped to it, or what looks to be a knife.
okay. Um, I point this out. It's like, okay, so I think we can, but I'm a little worried about the machine uprising. Apparently, has already happened. Is that a knife? Is that a one of those phone vending machines? And is it holding a knife?
It looks like it. Hey, robot, are you on our side or their side?
Would you like to make a call?
Um,
Uh, yes, I would like to place a call to the local military checkpoint. Can you help us out?
Affirmative. Please insert cred stick.
watch out, it might
I
stab
I
you.
I look at the other two. We have this awkward beat of like, okay, who's going to pay first? And then Jato kind of sighs and fishes a cred stick out of his pocket and sticks it in the appropriate slot.
I spent all mine on meat.
There you go.
Also,
While he's
I do have
trying to
to
make a
ask
call,
Marzi.
can I take the knife off?
Oh yeah, you can just pull the knife off. It's like literally duct taped onto it.
Perfect.
It's
I'm gonna
actually
take
not
that
even a
knife.
real knife. It's just a piece of paper that's like paint. Like it's a picture of a knife that's what's strapped to it.
So I'm so disappointed.
But Marzi, I do have to ask: have you made sure to keep the meat cone, or did you sadly drop it in the terminal?
Oh, yeah, I have it. I still
Okay.
have the meat cone because I've been
All right.
holding. I ate the one, and I've been like holding that the other one and the gun in the other hand. So it's very important.
Got it.
Yes.
Got to make sure character goals are all being worked towards here.
Save the meat cone.
Yeah. No. So you managed to stick your cred stick in and start looking over or start calling up the nearest military checkpoint, the CDF hotline, basically, due to there being, reports of a uprising that had happened on Mars. The CDU had set up a hotline in case people could report these terrorist groups. And you call in, and you hear, after a couple of rings, you hear, "Hello, this is CDF checkpoint 3. Uh, who's there and where are you?"
Hey, we're under a bit of distress right now. There seems to be some sort of terrorist group that's taken over terminal, and then I rattle off whatever
Mhm.
terminal number that we're actually at.
Oh, that's
Uh,
that's terrible. Where are you?
um, can I?
Hedrick's like making a knife hand, like, no, no, don't answer that.
Okay. I guess I it's like, oh, sorry, my money sticks right again. Oh crap, and then I hang up.
All right. Yeah. No. He's like, hey, wait, you little, and then you hang up, and the robot's like, would you like to make another phone call?
That's okay for now. But we'll see you. All right. Okay. So this sounds like it's an inside job, unfortunately. What do we do now, guys? And as that, okay, I need to switch headsets. This one's going down. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Okay, hopefully this one works.
Cool, we can still hear you.
Okay, cool. I can't.
All right.
Just my volume.
So, Ketter kind of returns back to his previous line of thinking in that, I think we should go and attempt to reconnoiter the area, maybe find somebody else to link up with. There's got to be other people who haven't been taken hostage yet.
All right. So you're gonna limit like your search to just the biodomes, or try to search some of the hallways?
I'm thinking, we can take a quick look through the biodome, but I don't expect to find anything useful here. So I'm going to be looking for the nearest exit and kind of seeing what kind of activity is happening outside of the biodome. Obviously,
Okay.
not in the direction of the hangar that we just came from.
No. Unfortunately, this place only connects in two ways. One is towards the terminal full of terrorists, and the other way is towards the capital ship docks, where one of the larger ships recently docked.
That would be my vote. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm gonna take the duct tape that was holding the little knife image onto the robot or the little phone bot, and I'm going to use that to fashion a holster for myself for the meat cone so that I can hang it on my belt and use the carbine.
Not a holster for the weapon. No, it's a holster for the
meat
cone.
cone. Yes.
All right. Yep. No, it's a little awkward, but you make it work. For now, it's temporary. It just has to last you until you stop this terrorist uprising or get people who can.
Exactly.
But with that, as you guys start heading towards the capital ship docks, are you trying to be? I assume you guys are trying to be stealthy about this, right?
Yeah, I would assume we're
trying. Sure.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying.
Optimally, you're trying. But in that case, I do need another stealth test as you guys start nearing corridors and start looking out, and you start like you peek out this one, and you peer down the large hallway to the right as I fail with tokens, and you see two dudes down towards the end of the hallway, and they seem to be patrolling. Though these ones are not heavily armored like the other ones in Brigadine. These guys are in like the equivalent of like Kevlar and like a normal uniform.
I think we're cool.
I need more skills.
Working on it.
I know, don't
Okay.
worry.
So I guess they're patrolling around and they're not really. There doesn't seem to be alternate ways of getting around them, at least as far as we know, right?
Yeah, you could try the vents, but without knowing the layout of the vents, you could possibly get lost.
Okay. I think maybe we can do we can cause a distraction sort of situation, and then we can run past them as soon as they're distracted. Maybe there's like some sort of. Well, I don't want to do the D&D special and say start a fire somewhere, but I'm kind of thinking something along those lines. Just not actual fire.
Are we still close to that robot? Because maybe you're kind of a techie type, right, Jado? So maybe you could, I don't know, can you like program it to go bother them? Maybe that'll distract them.
I think maybe I can if that robot is close by or
Yeah, no,
something of a similar model.
you can find these are robots that are just about everywhere. You could find one to like you want a soda one, you want like maybe a snack dispensing one, another phone robot.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go in the more salacious direction here. There's going to be a vendor of fine adult products somewhere around there, and I'm going to try and reprogram it to instead offer its services / products to those two gentlemen down the hallway.
All right. In that case, I will let you make a inhibit test, and this will actually directly reduce their ability to find you.
Excellent. Okay, I definitely think this is more of a I can fix it skill along with a science that skill, and this time I think they're in there. Well, I guess we don't have elements yet. So, but in this case, I'll try and go above the burnout numbers. So, how does that work again? Basically, I roll at the full amount of dice, but I take a stress.
Yep. So you'll take you take 1 point of stress from each level over.
Ah, I see. All right, maybe I'll limit it just a bit. I'll just roll 66 and see if that'll work. All right, so roll 6d6 because it's 5 stress. We only have 5 stress available. So, all right, well let's give this a shot as I rip open the wiring on this robot and seeing if it will do what I want it to do. Okay, that's a bunch of 4s. Let's see if 4s are in that limit area. Okay. If 4s count as successes, that would be 4 successes.
Unfortunately, no, they don't.
No.
But there's another way to get a reroll. If you're playing
Okay.
into your nature of your character, like for example, you have the nature of calm, or terse/aloof, or terse/aloof. You could say that you're being calm under pressure because you're working with your machines, so you can re-roll the dice.
Okay, I think I'll do that.
And you won't take an extra burnout because you're already rolling 6 dice.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. I guess you'll see basically if this were a cinematic thing, you'll see them like basically. I suppose it would be like you have the music in the background. It starts slowly fading out, and as they focus in on this wiring.
Yep, you tune out the outside world, and you get 3 successes. And this fine robot of specific pleasantries that's, repopulation efforts were a very important thing for a long time. So it goes out and goes up to the guards and goes, would you like, do you need any prophylactories? And like it starts shooting out, a whole bunch of different things at them, and they're like, what the hell are you doing, robot? In this case, and after this, I'm going to need the rest of you to make an obscure test to sneak past it.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to use skills. This is awesome.
I know.
I'm going to use ironclad strategy, so we've got a great plan here.
Got a great plan.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
I'm going to use rally cry. I'm going to be like, all right, team, we got this. Let's sneak across this hallway.
Yeah.
Let's do this Leroy Jenkins style. Yes, of course.
Uh-oh. That's not bad.
A success.
I guess.
Yeah, it's 1 success.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use close quarters and man at arms again, and we are very close to them, and that is no successes. Oh no.
Well, you can always re-roll with your nature, but do note, each nature can only do 1 re-roll. So, like, Jato has used their calm nature, so they can't reuse that for another one. They'd have to use their terse or aloof one.
I see. Okay, and that's like for the day.
Yeah, it's until you guys rest.
Okay.
That's why there's a little dot I can click on next to my nature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can click that? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you can click that. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. I suppose. Oh, were you going to try and re-roll that, or?
I'll try to reroll it. Yeah, let me.
All right. Okay,
No,
one success.
Yes, I got one.
All right. And so you guys start and you're going to the capital ship docks, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes.
All right. So you guys start making your way across towards the capital ship docks, and Kadirk, as you're like leading the team. You're like, go, go, go. You're watching around the corner. You start going, and one of the guys almost turns to look at you before he is hit by an object of pleasure upside the head, and looks the other way. And you manage to sneak across and get over here to these capital ship docks. All three of you, nice together. And it seems like, for now at least, there doesn't seem to be an extra patrol up here. Now, capital ship docks. Let me go right down here. At the rise and fall of Olympus Station, extending out as pod-shaped structures that surround the attached vessels are the docking pylons, connected via airlocks. Each of these massive structures is a small dry dock facility / hangar for the larger naval vessels. The main entry from which passengers would access the body of the station, however, has been sealed off. So basically, like, think of this as like the ship is almost fully encased in this dock. But
All right.
as you get up, you hit this locked door, and you can't seem to actually get into there. It's, giving you authorization required, security lockdown in effect.
Well, drat.
Okay. Let's see.
But as you guys approach, you do hear noise on the other side. Kunk, 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 kunk. It almost sounds like Jato, you actually identify this as Morse code.
Interesting. Okay. I'll let us say. I think they're trying to let us know something. Is anybody familiar with Morse code?
Not me.
I guess
I'd
I'll.
say probably not me.
All right. I suppose, Jato, it's probably common to do, the whole SOS
Yeah.
style of, dot dash dot, and I'll start thumping SOS back on the other side. I can't really think of anything else to do, so I'll try and do that.
Yeah. As you knock on the door, you manage to get the message out to them, and back you receive locked out.
Okay. I look over to Marcy with the laser carbine that they're holding, and I'm like, I'm not familiar with firearms and lasers specifically, but do you think you can do something about this lock with that weapon of yours?
I think so. She does think she can do that, right? Like she could just shoot it and see if.
This is like a reinforced airlock, so it's like in case explosive decompression, the ship explodes out there, people don't get sucked out. The ever beautiful air doesn't go with it.
I guess okay, my character probably examines the lock instead, and there's like, okay, what sort of access requirements is it, like a key card, or some sort of actual like physical lock that we need to, or is there any way to bypass it, that sort of thing?
Right now, it seems like this panel that has next to it, is pretty locked down. It's saying there's a security alert, security lockdown, uh, station authority needed by commander to overwrite.
Okay, so it's basically the whole terminal is on a lockdown mode, and we need to go to some central authority area in order to actually lift said lockdown. Well, that's great. All right. As far as I know, unfortunately, I think the man over the loudspeakers is probably well in control of whatever security terminal that they're at. So, what do you think? What do you guys think we should do?
Well, I guess I can't shoot it down. Also, I want to state that while we're doing this, like Marcia will pull security and with the carbine out and like watching our backs while we're doing
Yeah.
this, just in case. Okay.
As you guys are doing this, eventually you do hear from the corridors back behind you where those two dudes were. You hear the sounds of two particle beam shots go out, and then the dying sound of "At your pleasure is ours." Seems they have killed the very specifically vending robot.
Good night, sweet prince.
All right. Well,
I'm not a big fan of being in this dead end corridor here, so I guess we should start heading back another way and attempting to maybe see if we can find another way to go. Find somebody, maybe base personnel that we can free that might be able to help us out. Possibly even an armory.
out of curiosity, the I guess the two guards. You said that they were. I mean, they're not like in. You said they were not necessarily in full armor.
No, they're in like combat uniforms. Think like the equivalent of like Kevlar and like a uniform.
Okay.
It is
I
much less
suppose-
protection than the brigandine that the other terrorists were wearing. So either
I
they
see.
ran
Okay.
out or these guys aren't as important.
A little bit of both, probably. I'm wondering if could we potentially disguise ourselves, one of us, and maybe infiltrate that area and then turn off lockdowns, that sort of thing. I don't know if that's if they're the right size or the uniforms are don't have like fully enclosed helmets, that sort of thing.
No, these are these are just like regular uniforms. These guys don't have like enclosed helmets or spacesuits. It's like a normal like a BDU almost for like a military.
I get. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, other than trying to, it doesn't seem like they would have any sort of access credentials to get through this door. So, well, unfortunately, the only other place is to go back the way we came.
We're gonna fight them anyway, aren't we?
That's kind of what I was just thinking. But they've got guns still, right? So
yeah, they do seem to. From what you saw, they also have Wolf modular weapons.
Okay.
yeah, that gives me pause.
Yeah, because they both have one.
Right.
There are three of us, and you're bigger.
But I don't have a weapon or anything.
That's true. I know.
Without some form of body armor, like I'm big and I'm tough, but I think I'm still susceptible to lasers.
Well,
and it was a fairly long corridor that they were on the other end of.
Yeah, no, it seemed like it was a fairly long one. Though you do hear their footsteps slowly moving closer as they patrol.
Could we set up an ambush so that, like, when they get to the T, we jump out and melee range from around the corner?
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what we should do. We can't get across to the other side at this point now, I'm guessing, but yeah, let's see if we can sneak up to the corner there of that intersection and wait for them to get close and jump out and grab them.
Jato is going to see if he can finesse his way over to maybe some sort of lighting panel controls in the local area. Maybe we can, turn off the
In the
lights at
right
a yeah.
opportune time. Yeah, I like it.
All right, yeah, no. So you guys make your way back to the T junction really quickly, and you hear their footsteps getting closer. Derek, I assume you're like the one closest to the corner because you're the giant bear.
Yeah.
And as you guys start setting up, Jato, I'm gonna need a roll as you like manage to find like one of those like technical panels, for
Mhm.
maintenance. You manage to you struggle at first because it's one of those like stupid annoying ones with a very secure bar you have to lower and then push to the side.
All right.
But you manage with the others help to get it open, and you have the panel in front of you, so you can start messing with some of the electronics in the area. It doesn't have like unlock all the doors, as in wire, just cut this wire down, unlock everything. But you can definitely mess with the lights.
Okay. All right. I will go ahead and do that. I'll use my I can fix it ability because that sounds very appropriate, and I'll use the science that ability to try and get it to do exactly what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and I'll go over my burnout limit. I'll go ahead and I'll spend another stress so I can roll 66.
All right.
All right, let's see. And I suppose, do I need to declare the specific action type that I'm doing? Is it? I guess it would be an
In this
obscure.
in this
Uh,
case, you could either do an obscure or an interact roll.
um, could you describe the difference between the two,
So
or if
obscure
there is?
would be to give you guys like make it harder to spot you guys, but interact would allow you to change the scene in its entirety in by basically interacting with stuff in the walls. Maybe you turn off the lights, and that'll make everything really dark. It won't give you obscure, but who knows if these guys don't have night vision? They don't seem to have like helmets or anything.
Okay. I will do the obscure support action. I think that's more beneficial.
All right,
As much as I think the cinematic one sounds pretty awesome, but I think
all right. Yeah, there's
I'll
no
let
wrong
the others.
choices here.
No, well, we'll see about that. Okay, roll
Well, as long as
66.
you guys
Go.
don't die horribly, then that's technically a wrong choice.
All right, looks like to be 1 4 and 1 6 out of that whole pile.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. Um, so you manage to rip open this panel and start getting through with it. Uh, and eventually you do manage to, as these guys come around the corner, they don't just yet spot Kadirk. The lights go out. And Chato, you're effectively blinded as, the lights go out. Marzana, you're a little more used to this, sudden, night changes, but you don't have night vision, so you're a little more at problems. Meanwhile, Kadirk, you can see every single nut and bolt for 500 meters.
Yeah. That's what
Lucky.
happens when you grow up in caves.
Mm-hmm.
Not so human
So-
supremacy now, are you?
So Kedrick is gonna just like barrel into the nearest guy trying to wrestle his blaster away from him.
All right, so you're gonna go for like a redirect action.
Yes.
All right, so you'll redirect and you'll like take his gun from him.
Yep, that's exactly it.
So luckily, now that we're getting into an actual combat here, so this is how it normally works. We'll start with the communication phase where you guys talk a little bit, plan it out, and decide what you guys are generally going to do. You can change your actions if something happens later. Then we'll do the support phase actions, which in this case you guys have the drop on them, so they cannot act until after all of you have acted. That
Nice.
means they can't defend themselves, they can't do anything until afterwards. They're entirely reactionary to what's happening here. Then we'll do ops phase actions, which is like attack, defend, redirect, followed up by cinematic phase, which is interact, or like inhibits. And so with that, sounds like you guys already have your plan. Kaderik's going to, or at least Kaderik yourself, you're gonna redirect and you're gonna try and John Wick the gun from the dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna alter it slightly because I've got a fairly willing Zentradi companion behind me here. So maybe what I'll do is, I'll rush past the first guy and try to wrestle the gun from the second guy, and
All right.
that way, she can get the closer guy. Since I can see better, I figure I can go for the farther target.
All right.
Yeah, I'll come in and just like attack, just like close quarters, like get up in his face, smack him with my gun. I'll shoot him if I need to, but I'm trying not to make too much noise right now.
Fair enough. And Jato, what are you thinking of doing this turn? Or this round, rather?
All right. So I figured. I guess I'll turn off all the lights. Maybe there's like some sort of fire extinguisher close by, and I can use a inhibit action as I spray.
Yeah, you can totally. You find like a nearby one that you can just like, and this is like you find like sealing foam. For sealing vacuum holes, and it's basically an expanding foam that solidifies. So
nice.
you can use that to inhibit, and so that will go to the support phase, which doesn't sound like you guys are doing any support actions. You guys are obscured by 2 successes, so they have to roll 2 observe to even be able to target you guys.
Awesome. Interesting.
So next up, we'll go to the ops phase, and we'll start with Kadirk. So you're rushing past the first dude. You're like shoving him into the wall as you roar out.
Yep.
And you're like roaring out. You're hulking out into the darkness and going for the second guy's gun. So roll that redirect.
Yep. So I'm gonna use, because I don't think there's a limit to it. It's lead the charge. Because I'm initiating combat, running into here. I'm gonna use my rally cry and this ironclad strategy for our plan to do a 5d6 skill roll.
Nice. That is 2 successes. So you managed to like burst past both of them before grabbing the last guy and spinning him around, and you just take his gun, which he had set up for the carbine mode. So now you have his gun, or at least one of them. You do quickly notice that this man is like fully kitted out. He does have a pistol and stuff, but you've taken his basically main arm.
Perfect.
Nicely done.
And then we'll go to Marzana as you pull up to the corner and you round it, following after the vague shape of your friend vanishing into the darkness, and suddenly being replaced by a very confused dude. And so you can make your attack roll, which that is 2 successes. Let me check your sheet really quickly. All right.
And just to check, I took the talent Built Tough, which I believe is just a passive talent that I just always have.
You
like,
just
extra
have
2 brawl wounds. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you just always have those 2 brawl wounds.
Cool.
And so that just means
I added those because I.
Yeah. So you round the corner and this guy is not expecting you, and you basically take like the gun and your fist and you punch him really hard. And he kind of stumbles backwards a little bit. It's like, "Ah, my jaw!" But he's not down.
That'll teach you to call me small.
What the hell? And these 2 dudes, they struggle to identify where both of you are, it seems. And as such, they do fire like blindly into the darkness, and they're going, "We've got resistance over here in Sector 23 by the capital ship docks." And these shots go wide of both of you, luckily, as Marzana, one of those shots actually like singes your hair a little bit. And then we move to the cinematic phase. Jato, as you grab this ceiling foam, you're going to try and inhibit both of them as you jump around the corner, and you get your catchy phrase.
Get stuck in, and then I
love it.
And so I don't know if 5, 6, 6 says, but we'll see.
Yep. So 5 still count.
Nice.
You manage to just spray wildly into this hallway, and you manage to inhibit both of them for 2 successes. So both of them will now have 2 less successes on their next rolls.
Nice.
Which will be their attempt to spot you. as they finally get their turn because they you guys finish up your turn, they get theirs now. Um, and they have no idea where you guys are. They're like, I'm getting, what the hell? I can't move. So you do hear over the radio, Roger that, Team 5. We're sending Team 7 and 5 or 7 and 6 on their way to you. They're having to move through the biodome.
Shit.
And with that, we'll move into the next communications phase. So now you no longer have the drop on them, so they'll act at the same time as you guys. But they still have yet to spot you.
All right. Still sounds like we're still in the middle of combat, so I think we just keep doing exactly what we're doing now, and
Yeah, I think at this point, since they've called for backup, I might just open fire because they already know now.
Yeah, stealth is done.
Yeah, stealth is done now. We already got the jump on them, so I think this next round I am going to, when I am sure that I'm not going to hit either of you, I will unload the carbine on one of these guys.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna do the same since I now have a carbine as well.
All right.
Heck yeah.
And Jato, what are you thinking?
well, I think let's see. I will go ahead. I guess I'll let's see. I suppose if everyone's there, I think I can. I'll try and interact and change. I guess I'll just turn the lights back on. I'll mess with the panel now that the element of surprise is gone.
I will also say you do know that the other guys are coming through the biodome.
Okay, that's right. Is there? I didn't see. Is there? I guess into this T junction area. Is there a way I could like initiate another like one of the doors to start closing or anything? Maybe like
Yeah, no,
a
like
fire door or something.
you could probably force like one of the doors near the biodome's doors to shut closed, or use like the sealing foam on the door.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
All right, yeah. So if you do that, I'll say that delays the enemy's ability to get to you guys.
Perfect.
So in that case, we'll move on to the support phase, which no one's really doing much support, which is completely fine. Ops phase. So Marzi and Kadurk. I'm assuming you guys are targeting one of you's targeting each dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
why not? Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Yep.
Our dudes that we've been fighting.
Yeah. All right, so roll up your attacks.
Okay, so we just roll our skills as normal for
Yep.
this. Okay, perfect. I will use Man at Arms and Rapid Fire for this. Oops, that should be. Oops, I did that wrong. Hold on. That should be 5d6. Sorry. Okay, there we
That's
go.
2.
So 2.
All right, and Kadurk, that is another 2. So I'm just gonna roll these dudes. Their attempts to defend themselves as they're in a, they're right now they're just in survive mode. As the guy next to you, Kadurk, instead of going for his pistol, he pulls out like a combat knife and starts swinging it in your direction.
Oh man.
But he still can't see you. Like they have been unsuccessful in actually noticing you, and Marzana and Jato, like Jato, you start going over towards the door, towards the biodome, and like you move just in time as this dude just again lets out a spray of particle beam fire into the wall.
Always going against the short ones. Okay.
Okay, so in this case, you guys both put fire together on this group, and the guy in front of you, Katurk, he takes a shot, and the both your particle beams on both of the dudes just go straight through the armor, and the one next to you, Marzana, he is just killed. He is dead. as you manage to put a good shot through his chest, through the armor into the chest, and combined with what you've already done, this dude goes down. Meanwhile, Katark, the guy next to you, who unfortunately hasn't been damaged yet, manages to take the shot and kind of grit his teeth as he gets ready for a full fight. And now we'll go to the interact phase. Jato, your time up.
All right, I'll use my science abilities to hopefully science a door close, at least temporarily. So, right.
That's 3 successes. So yeah, you manage to you get into the wall and you start messing with the wires, for the door, and then you're like, wait, why don't I just make it think there's a fire here, and you start sparking the wires like over and over to cause a little bit of smoke to rise up, which sets off the alarms, and the biodome's door seals over, and flashing red lights above you, and it's really loud and annoying. It's like the school fire drills, beep beep beep.
Oh dear.
Well, they know where we're at now.
Well, they knew beforehand, but yeah, that still works. It adds to the atmosphere.
That's true.
And so you got this last dude here, which, finally his eyes start adjusting to the darkness, and he's like, Kabarin, one of your furry kind, I'll skin you and make you into a carpet.
Rude.
Kedark just growls. He's not happy with this guy.
Mm-hmm. So now we go into the last, what I assume is going to be the last round, because combats in the system are specifically noted to only go about 5 rounds, because you either wrap it up in the 5 rounds, or you can roll it over into another scene. It prevents combats from going on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, communications phase. You guys got one last dude to kill or beat up or whatever. Rip in half.
Wait, if we don't kill this one, maybe we can ask him about what's going on. But
I know, but he just insulted me, so I feel like Kedark kind of in a bit of a rage here. He's
that's true.
not overly level-headed about being called a carpet, so
Yeah, that's valid.
I think he's very focused on just smashing this guy.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to interrupt that. So I'll continue assisting then.
All right. Yeah. So in this case, you'll be rolling in the support phase. Katurk will be rolling in the ops phase, and Jato, you've sealed the doors. What you thinking?
I guess I noticed as Marsana blasted the one guy. If that one guy is down on the ground, I guess I'll start rifling through his pockets and stuff and try to salvage anything useful.
All right. You know what? Roll me an observe check. You can roll an observe check to really get through his pockets in the middle of combat.
Okay, cool.
And so we'll move just right into the combat. So you guys no longer have obscure from him, because his eyes have finally started adjusting, and he's kind of narrowed down where Katurk is due to the Katurk and Marzana are due to particle beam fire. It's pretty in the dark. So with that, we'll move over to the support phase of Marzana.
All right. Here we go. So yeah, I'm just gonna come in and try to join the fight here to help out. So I got 2 successes I can give you, Kadirk, to avenge yourself from that, frankly, space racist insult that he gave you there.
All right. And we'll move on to Jato, because you're observing, you're looking around, you're trying to find what's in this guy's pockets.
All right. Looking in pockets very scientifically. Go. 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. This guy seems to just have he's got his uniform, which now has a small hole in it, though it does look like it's still usable. A pistol, his knife, and a wolf modular weapon.
Fair enough.
Pick them up.
And then we'll go to the ops phase. Katurk, man has said mean words to you that are. They definitely would not be spacebook appropriate.
So, despite this maybe not being the wisest strategy, Ketter actually doesn't use the rifle, but instead just tries to bear down on him with his fists, like just, smash the guy into the ground using his, I believe I have heightened strength. I didn't write it on my sheet, but I'm looking at the character description here. And that would, if my understanding is, give me an edge once per encounter.
Yep, so you have heightened endurance.
Yep, but if I look at, you sent it to me just before earlier today. I have a powerful muscular system and energy fat reserve, so it gives me strength, and then in the next sentence it gives me endurance.
Okay, yep. So yeah, no, you can pop heightened strength, and you can just go like full Chewbacca on this guy.
So that's what we're gonna do.
All right. So that's once. So that means that you do count fours in this situation. So you have 2 successes there.
Okay. Perfect.
And you got the 2 successes from before, which is 4. Now, how brutal are you going to be on this guy?
I mean, we're gonna pummel him. We're trying to knock him out. I don't know if I'm quite trying to kill him.
Okay.
I'm better than that, but
okay, so you're not gonna like lift him up and like tear him in half.
No, I'm not gonna tear him in half. I'm just gonna pound him into the ground.
All right, so this guy like brings up his knife, like if you've ever seen like Resident Evil 4, he's like Leon brings out his knife and he takes a swipe at you, and instead of like you dodging or anything, you just like grab his arm and like break it, like right at the between the right on his forearm. You just break it and he drops the knife, and then you start just wailing on him over and over until finally he's a rather bloody looking beat up mess, but he is still alive.
All right, I will restrain myself. One might say barely restrain myself from killing him.
Ha.
Hey.
Bear puns. There's a lot of bear puns in the books that cover the Kabarans.
Okay.
Like Ursa
I gotta
side.
up my pun game.
I mean, we have to do it, so
Yep.
It's.
But with that, you guys have managed to, take out these 2 guys. You now all have guns, if you want, and you do have 2 mostly working pieces of armor. Like you can still use them. They definitely do have like a hole in them, so they're probably not going to pass for a disguise.
Do they fit Kadirk?
If you take, I will say, if you take both of the uniforms, you can kind of like make it work a little bit. Yeah.
No, I think it'd be better if we put the armor on the 2 of you. I can take it.
We could also pretend you're a prisoner if we wanted to lie, but I don't know. I'm not a great actor or anything.
But
could explain the battle damage.
Would.
So yeah, I'm assuming you guys like quickly like grab up their stuff and grab the dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
So
and if they need it, I can go through a quick rundown of like how to use the weapon if y'all need help with it, unless you already know how.
So you guys, so I'm gonna say that you guys found like a vent nearby that you can get back into because you know that the dudes are either gonna be running through the biodome or it's a lot of long corridors. Though you could possibly get to the cargo bays if you want.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking now that this patrol is down, let's take this opportunity before they catch up with us and dash down this corridor and see if there's anywhere else we can get to.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, you guys, I'll just delete his dead body. So you guys pick up their guns and armor, and I'm assuming you pick up one of the radios too.
Yeah, so let's pick up one of the radios, and then are we taking this prisoner guy with us, or are we just leaving him there unconscious?
I'm more of a fan of just leaving him, personally. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not going to wake up for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually
Do we
don't.
want to shove them in a vent somewhere? Or it's probably not worth the time, honestly. Yeah, I would say let's just skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Everyone fine with that? Before I say skedaddle, it
Yep.
is.
Let's skedaddle.
Got it.
Skedaddle.
So you guys grab their stuff up really quickly and start running down the hallway, and you get to this door, and luckily there's no immediate soldiers down this way, but you do hear behind you the sounds of like a beep beep doof, as it sounds like they breached the door that you've sealed down there, Jato. Quickly you can see directly in front of you 2 arrows. To the left seems to be central power in the cargo bays. To the right seems to lead back towards the terminals and towards the military hangar.
I like the sounds of that.
Okay, so left is central power and cargo bays, and right was the military wing. Is
Yeah,
what
the
right there?
military. It'll lead down towards the military hangar and the main terminal.
But that wasn't the corridor that
No, no,
joined
the
into the. Okay.
yeah. So like this corridor will lead down towards the terminal, but the terminal is still off to the side. You're not like
Okay.
walking right down into the T junction with the terminal.
Okay.
You're watching the Twitch stream, right, to see the map?
No, can you guys wait?
You're not sharing in Roll20 for
Oh
us,
my god,
so
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
watching the stream. Oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. That's easier.
Okay, that makes things much
I am
easier.
so
Okay.
sorry. I thought I moved you guys over. Also, no looking extreme. There's hidden things. Don't look at the hidden things.
I was trying to figure. Yeah, there's.
I know.
All
Sorry.
the streams got all the grayed out stuff. Now that makes so much more sense.
You saw nothing. Skeleton King,
Alright.
break your hands.
I'm over to looking at the Roll20 window. It's more fun this way.
Okay. I am. Jato is much more familiar with the cargo operations area, so to say. So he definitely is pointing in the left direction.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
All right. So you guys quickly start making your way up to the cargo area, and Katurk, you hear behind you guys, since you have better hearing than them, the sounds of angry footsteps, shouting, and like, Team Five's got one casualty, sir, and you can hear this over the radio. Team Five's got one down, one KIA, one wounded in action. Don't know who did
Alright,
it, but
folks.
I hear there seems to be some fur left on the floor, suggesting a Kabaran or Garudin. And you hear back.
Suggest we
Okay.
make hasty.
And you hear back over the radio, whoever they are, find them and kill them. I am not dealing with someone interrupting our plans.
Uh-oh.
And so you guys now have a split up here. There's the central power to your left, and then off to your right is the entrance, one of the main entrances into the cargo bay.
Okay. My thought is cargo bay is we can easily probably get lost in there, or we can easily lose our tail in there. But that might save us. But in the central power area, we might be able to affect the whole hostage situation. Jato is definitely more comfortable with the cargo bay, but he just lets everyone know, say, well, we might be able to do something about the overall situation if we head to the power area instead. What do you guys think?
Gosh. Yeah, I mean, I expect there's going to be people in the central power area, though. So, well, we're armed now, I suppose. Yeah, let's head in there. Yeah.
All right.
They're after us, guns blazing. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys move into the central power, and you get in here, and Located in the depths of the Olympus Station's lower structure is the power systems and core to keep the station operational and alive. Not only encompassing the central reactor, it contains numerous other utility areas for not only power, water, oxygen, heat, and gravity. The central power in its engineering station is also contains numerous overrides for safety and maintenance of the station in case of emergency. And as you guys get in here, on one of the lower levels of this area, you see what looks to be three different guys who aren't exactly paying attention to what's going on around them, but they're furiously typing away. And you overhear one of them go, "Gravity restraints 5, 7, and 9 are offline. I'm getting the rest off. I'm working on the rest now. How about you? Power shifting to main booster seems to be working. We should be ready to start dropping this thing soon."
Oh,
That
shit.
sounds bad. All right. We need to stop those guys now.
Do we? Okay, so do we hear that over there?
That
Them just
they're
basically
just
shouting
yelling.
at each other.
Notably, if they're talking over a radio, they're not on your frequency.
Interesting. Okay.
But they don't seem to have noticed you yet, and you notice that they're not really packing too much equipment. You do notice that they seem to be, well, whoever they are, they're likely on a separate channel, maybe because they're more experienced than the others, but they they do seem to be wearing brigandine armor, but they only seem equipped with pistols, a combat knife, and some kind of kit that they've wired into the systems. Look, from your knowledge of spaceships and the such, Jato, it's likely that these are engineering kits of some kind.
Interesting. That makes sense.
But they are
All right.
furiously typing away, and as you guys hear this, you kind of hear you start hearing the sounds of what's like the rocket booster and the shift in gravity slightly. We are go for drop. Station is starting to be moved. Gravity restraints are disabled.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna shout out at them, like, "Stop what you're doing!" Like, raise my rifle up towards them.
Mm-hmm. And it's at this point though you've noticed that you like as the booster fires and they say that gravity locks have been disengaged. All of you guys, except them, because they seem to like have locked themselves in place either with like hooks or magnetic boots. You guys suddenly are put in a zero G environment. And Jato, you're absolutely in place in this. It's just a sudden shock for the shift.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Well, it's definitely sounds like a hostile act. Let's.
Yeah, I mean, if they make no signs of stopping when I shout out at them, then yeah, I'm going to attempt to engage them. We may be floating, the gravity might be off, but we should be able to stop them from crashing us into the planet.
Mm-hmm. So you do hear over your radios. I'm going to say this. You hear, "What the hell? Why is the gravity gone?" "It's all part of the plan. Just keep focused."
Okay. I'm wondering if these guys actually know this part of the plan. Oh dear.
But your yelling does attract these guys' attention, who look up. Who you guys are on an upper level, and they look up and they're like, "Intruders! We can't let them. We can't let them. Stop this." And like one of them takes his gun and shoots the console
Oh, juice.
before turning to you guys with his pistol and be like, "You should have just died peacefully." And we'll jump into the next combat here. But first, I'm gonna take a quick break. I just need to get a drink really quickly. So everyone else, you guys get a drink, hit the bathroom. Everyone else, we will be back shortly. Um, I'm just gonna switch us over to this. Oh my god, I finally made it. I'm a real Twitch streamer. Someone's offering to,
Yep. You know you've made it
Yeah.
when you get the
I'm
spam
real.
bots.
I've got a
Yeah.
spam bot. I'd like to take this award for, I'm so
Go get your
so
drink, man.
happy.
Go get your drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my drink as I banned him, but I'll be right back.
Okay, I will also be right back.
Okay, I have returned.
I'm also back. Yay!
Awesome. And there's Snicket.
Getting a
Ooh.
lot of static on your end.
Oh, let me fix that. Any better?
No.
How about now?
Yep.
Okay. Uh, my headset unfortunately has been on the fritz. But everyone good to ready to continue?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm
Jez?
good.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. So, we're starting off in the combat. You don't have the drop on these guys. Because of the sudden shift in gravity, you couldn't take advantage of the chance to ambush them. But, so they will still get to act at their normal time, at their normal thing. These are 3 major lieutenants, which these are like, in the scale of bad guys, it goes swarms, which are just a bunch of dudes. Like the last encounter was, it was a swarm of 2. Minor lieutenants, which are a step up, and the major lieutenants who are like, yeah, these are like these are named grunts. They're a little tougher than normal guys. There are 3 of them, so they each actually get their own actions. But with that, I'm going to give you your communication phase. They are below you on a lower level.
All
And
right.
you said we're floating?
Yep, it is now currently a 0G environment. You guys can swim through the air, though.
Okay, I'm thinking one of two things. One is if I am going, I can futz around with the radio and basically like throw a bunch of white noise all over there, and hopefully like basically throw white noise into your comms. I think that's more of an obscure type action. Or I would say that JTO being used to a 0G environment, I think I know I can actually probably push one of them as they're floating around into wherever area that they need to go. As
Okay.
I guess that would be an assist action.
Yeah, no, that'd work. Either one works for you. Marzana, you have any ideas?
Yeah, if Jato is going to push them into firing range, I can either just kind of be there ready. I could stay near like where we are currently and shoot, or I could also just like propel myself and go swimming towards them and shoot. I am up for either one of those, depending on what everyone else does.
Well, they're mag locked to the deck, right? Below
Yep,
us?
those
Yeah.
guys are maglocked to the deck.
I was more imagining like I would basically push one of you guys, towards them or towards a bit of cover, as opposed to being, floating around in the middle of nowhere. So,
Okay.
Helping you guys get to wherever you need to go because this is how we do things in space. All right, so it sounds like I'm going to do the assist, and you guys are probably just going to just attack them with your carbines because, well, we have them. We might as well use them, right?
I will say to make sure when you do roll your dice for attacks and stuff, you can always split off some successes to defense.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yep. So because when you roll 2 skills in a single phase, it's called a synergy, and you can then split your successes over all of the actions in that phase.
Interesting.
But with that, sounds like you guys have your plan. It is time for you to start rolling, so it'll be the support phase.
All right. I will use my science skills and such to help try and push these two to more advantageous combat positions. So let's see here. Roll 5d6. No, I don't want to spend any extra just yet for this one. So, all right. Looks to be three successes.
Okay, and so there are 2 ways you can do this. You can either do a specific assist, in which case that one player can grab all the successes, or a global assist, which each person can grab 1 out of.
I think it's more cinematic. What I imagine is the gravity shuts off. The 2 of them are probably like disoriented a bit. It's like, and then I jump and push off the wall, and then I push my mass directly into Kadirk to build up enough inertia to send them towards the bad guys. So I'll give those successes to Kadirk.
All right. Kadirk, you are now sent hurtling across the room at moderate speeds.
I'm gonna go for this this one straight down in the middle there of this central power unit area.
Yep. So you were like sent over there. These guys are all kind of these guys, as it switches into the ops phase. Quickly, like you notice that they just pop. The brigantine like back flexes a little bit, and they activate some jetpacks that they have built into their armors.
Oh, wow.
And they start moving around to try and get into combat positions.
So as I'm flying through the air, I'm going to open up with my carbine.
All right, feel free to roll that.
That's what, 2 successes?
Yes, that is 2 successes. Plus the 3 that Snicket had. So you have 5 successes.
Nice.
And so you're shooting down at this guy, and I need to roll his defense real quickly. Okay. You manage to jump off the wall, and you fire your rifle, and instantly you can already tell that this armor is a lot tougher. But unfortunately for him, you managed to, and it actually even stops the plasma or the particle bolts from getting through. But you managed to hit in just the right position that you actually hit him in the neck, and you see him like grab and start flailing as he floats through the air before going limp.
Got one.
And unfortunately for you, the one right here next to you attempts to put one of his rounds right into you. But as a technician, he's not good at shooting.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, his pistol, like, he fires off a couple shots wildly, but due to your increased speed, and rather, acrobatic flying for a bear, you manage to get around unscathed. Marzana.
I am going to see. I'll take a shot at this one here in
Okay.
the middle. I don't have assistance this time, and that I don't know flying. That looks complicated. So I'm just gonna take a shot from here for now with
All
my
right.
carbine. It's 2 successes.
That's actually 1 because you only got 1-5.
Oh, it's what? Sorry, it's a 5.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm.
Forge.
I wanted 2.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
Unfortunately, as you put out your fire on this guy, his armor just soaks it, and you put like 2 or 3 shots on this guy, and the armor just seems to eat it.
These guys are tough.
And as you do, the guy in the back, seemingly, pulls something out of his pocket and attempts to, and actually, pulls out like a long wire and basically throws it towards you, Marzana, attempting to pull your gun away.
Grapple gun.
Oh shoot.
And unfortunately, he does get a good grip on it, but you're actually, like, because you're so far away, you're able to, like, instead just yank the wire out of his hand. So he does not steal your gun.
That's mine, thank you very much.
And at this point, one of them goes, "Command, command! We've got 3 intruders, 1 Kabaran, 2 humanoids inside of the power central unit. Need reinforcements. We've already activated the plan to destroy the consoles." And at this point, we enter the next communication phase. As you guys don't actually hear that communication over radio.
Yeah, we've got the peon radio channel here. We need to get in on this command channel.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, I'm thinking I can probably just do the same assist for Marsana instead, now that you're next to me, so...
Sweet.
Yeah,
Please and
I
thank you.
think I'm gonna try and do continue my assault on this guy that's near me.
Okay.
I might, since he's not so good at shooting, I think I'm gonna try and close into physical combat range.
Okay. So you're able to like grab a hold of like one of the handrails that are OSHA guaranteed and actually strong enough to take up Kabaran. And you're gonna try and like whip around to get him.
Yo, giving him a good bear hug.
Jato.
I'm gonna do the same maneuver of like pushing off the wall and then colliding with Marsana to try and send her towards the enemy.
All right.
Same assist fashion.
Yep. Marzana.
All right, so then I am going to. I guess I'm going flying. Probably gonna pass the guy that that Karak is engaged with, but I'm kind of trying to head towards the the distant person, so I want to shoot at them. And let's see. So I get 2 extra successes, right?
Ooh,
that's nice. So
that
that's
is
2,
5
4,
successes.
6.
That's
Oh,
5
it's 5.
successes.
Yeah, it's 5. Sweet.
Yep, so we'll have that here in a second. So we'll go into the support phase. Jato, go.
Going.
That is 1 extra
1.
success. So, Marzana, you have 6 successes there. You just... having studied military stuff, you know exactly where the weak points of this armor are. And you put one into, like, the knee joint, which takes his knee out, in order to then proceed to, like, put 2 shots into his forehead. And you, like, hit the right point, and it just goes right through, killing him instantly.
Good.
Next up, we'll go to Kadark, who's, you're swinging around, you're getting into melee.
I'm apparently a bit unbalanced by this 0G thing.
Well, Kabarans, you guys are an industrious species, but, Kabara is, a lot different than 0G.
It's a 0 success roll. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, but let's see if he gets any chances to hit you with his combat knife. No. You're both very... You're off balance, and he's not good at stabbing people.
It's a fair matchup.
Yep. And so with that, we'll go on to the next phase, or the next round. Communication phase. You have 1 guy left to bully.
I am. I guess the controls are for this. I'm going to wonder if I can actually like turn the gravity back on in this room specifically, or something of that nature. I'm going to see if I can.
So in this area, you look over to what the gravity console that he had been working on, and he has shot it. The gravity is out. It doesn't look like there's any way here to put it back in. But at least that's what it seems like right now in the midst of a frantic combat.
Okay. Instead, because I know that they're summoning reinforcements, I'm going to go back to. I'm going to try and push myself back to the corridor to see if I can close that door.
Okay. So you're gonna you'll try to fly on past him. Warzana.
Okay, oops, sorry. 1 sec. I'm gonna take another shot at this guy. Oh, that is 1 success.
Oh, and Jato, what were you planning on doing?
I was going to try and close the door behind us to try and delay reinforcements. I suppose that specifically is probably would that be an interact action, or would that be an obscure action?
Interact. So
Interact.
Oh, sorry,
okay.
we're planning. I'm probably just gonna keep shooting. Sorry.
It's okay.
Like,
I plan on shooting. Yes, that's a great
I'm
plan.
communicating. I'm just doing it. See, it's great.
You're
I'm
natural.
very communicative. Yes.
And Kadirk, I guess you're gonna try and still.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to just attack this guy. I was trying to think about, like, I don't
You
know.
could
I
always
know that
try
I'm
to,
overly persuasive. Could we restrain him maybe? I don't think I'm going to talk you down, a commander, but...
You could always try to, like, throw him out of cover from Rizana.
Yeah, there you go. That's cool. That'd be cool. I'll see if
Yeah.
I can, like, grab onto him and just,
fling him.
All right,
toss
so
him
yeah,
out from
I'll say
behind.
that you can roll a redirect to
Pull!
or either a redirect or an assist.
Say pull.
Yes, I
Like
did.
Yeah, you can either do an assist or that. So,
yeah, I'll do that. That sounds good.
all right. So with that, I'm going to say support phase. So, Kadark, throw the dude.
Oh,
throw
I
the
really
dude.
throw him. I should have just ripped his arms
You
off.
just do like some sort of
Yeah,
like
really.
wushu stomp, and he just sends him flying up in the air.
And his arms go flying the other direction.
So like you still have all this momentum that you use to like whip yourself around into this like little area, and then you just grab onto like another handrail and spin around and hit this dude so hard upside the head he is sent tumbling freely into the air, and Marzana gets a clean shot to line up. Marzana had one success plus 2,
Yes.
4, 6, 7. So you have 7 successes. Yeah, you just like as this dude's tumbling, you just set this thing to, you just pull it out and go pew 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 pew, and the dude goes down like a clone trooper from the Clone Wars.
Okay. There's a Wilhelm scream in the background as well.
But with that, the combat is over. You don't hear footsteps just yet outside the hallway.
Okay. Do you still want me to do the interact, or is it the combat over and therefore it's kind of
Combat's over, so if you want to still like lock the door, you can. It doesn't sound like anyone's there just yet.
I might as well. I mean, we're gonna try and science this console back into working, so I might as well keep doing it. So let's see here.
And luckily, there's other vents and ways to get out of here.
Okay.
All right. So yeah,
yeah.
You lock the door. Like this is like you actually engage like a security lockdown for this area, and like on top of like a fire thing. So not only is there like the door like magnetically sealed, there's another like 2 doors stacked on top of it that are magnetically sealed.
Nice.
And
all right.
Did you mention earlier that this is where like the safety controls and things like that are controlled from centrally?
Yep.
So maybe could you, if the gravity controls are all shot to hell, can we at least see if you could unlock the doors to the big ship that seemed like there might be friendlies on the other side of that airlock door?
I mean, yes, ostensibly, but we heard that their plan has been thrown into action, which I suppose. Is there like a status console for like the whole station? Like,
yeah, you guys like regroup over at the consoles. Marzani, you like bounce off one of the walls and like bounce off another, and eventually you get back over here. And Jato, you kind of do like
like just, a moon jumps and things like that.
You just do one of those elegant. You just push off the wall and you elegantly float forward because you know exactly what you're doing. This is like perfect for you. And you manage to get over to the consoles, and all of you guys are like looking over them. The gravity console's shot. It says that the main booster is firing, and you can actually see on the monitor that's there. All 3 of you can see that the station's orbit is actually changing and falling towards oh god.
Oh, that's bad.
It's falling towards Mars.
Okay. Well, I as much as I would like to, open an override, I think we need to solve this problem first before it hits the point of no return. So I guess if the booster control is, I imagine it's like a big lever, and can we just push it in the other direction?
It looks like you can turn it off, but as of right now, it looks like just the way that everything's been thrown off, it's going to fall into the atmosphere soon. So you'll be able to turn it off, but it'll fall slower, giving you more time to work with. Because it's like a huge, complicated process that specifically says that in order to like fully override this and reestablish lock, you need to get to the commander's office.
Interesting.
More time.
I suppose we might as well do that to give us more time at the very least, and hopefully be able to get everyone else will be able to take care of the situation.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So give me a quick roll for that.
All right. I am going to go ahead, and that sounds pretty important. So I'm going to do the. I can fix it along with the science ability, and I'm going to go ahead and go over my burnout again. Hopefully, I don't stress myself out. But yeah, I'll roll 66 for this. Oh, nice. Okay.
All right, yeah, you actually managed. I'll say that you managed to not only turn off the boosters that are dropping you, but also managed to reestablish a not great orbit. It's still gonna fall, but you have hours at this point instead of minutes. But it does still look like that no matter what, the flight plan that it's still adjusting onto is going to drop it onto Arcadia.
Dang. Okay. Uh. Okay. Um. Can we also try and override the lockdown from the Izumo? Sorry, the Izumo class that's docked. Can
Yeah,
we
the Ikazuchi.
Ikazuchi? Oh, it's Ikazuchi class.
Yep.
Okay, Izumo
It's
is the
like a
bigger one. That's
massive carrier.
right. Are we able to override that door from the station?
I will say it's a difficult test to basically cycle the power. You'll basically have to recycle the power for most of the station to try and force it, but it might not work because due to the command level override that's happening.
Okay. Man, where the heck can we actually override the command level override?
Down. So it said the command room, which is down from my marker, down over here.
Okay.
So you'd have to go all the way down past the terminals and flight controls, security stations to get up there. Or, I'll give you this. You know that traditionally to unload larger cargo, the cargo bays usually have some form of mecha in them, usually demilitarized and unarmed.
That makes sense.
Ooh.
But
So we could potentially.
yeah, you could potentially, maybe grab a mecha in there, but you do have to remember that you know of at least one enemy mecha, which does seem to be some like high-tech advanced Veritech.
Well, are any of you guys expert pilots? I know how to. I am proficient with civilian mecha, so I might be able to do something. But if we get in a fight, I don't think our chances are pretty good out there. But as the case may be, that might be our only option. Otherwise, we'll have to go through the security team that's definitely on their way right now.
I think it's our best option.
I agree. I think it's a good idea. I'm not sure I'm going to fit inside of any of these puny human mecha, though.
I'm sure we'll be able to finagle something. At the very least, maybe we'll find a zero G a vacuum suit that'll fit. A Kabaran, and then you can ride on the outside. Maybe. Is that okay? So the plan, from what I understand so far, is we rummage through the cargo bays. Hopefully, we'll find a mecha that will allow us to basically spacewalk on the outside of the station to go to hopefully go into the central security station. Is that what I'm understanding?
That seems to be what I'm understanding.
Okay.
All right, so, and I'm gonna say you don't have to worry about unsealing the door. There's plenty of vents that you can get around, and since it's so close, it'll be a direct, easy journey. But I think I'm gonna call our session a little early here.
Understood.
Because I think we've hit a very great tension point. Now we've set up for the next session, which will be next Thursday at the same time, same bat place. And I also want to get your opinion since you guys are new players to the system. I want to see how you guys like the system.
So far, I do like how you were mentioning how combat and such is very streamlined and such. So I do like how the action phases are broken down into 3 sections, and they have pretty well defined characteristics. So
Yeah, I like the more narrative approach to it. Rolling the soul dice and stuff is pretty straightforward. I'll say it's a little bit of a black box for me, and maybe that's just I need to go read a little bit more on the gear and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't have a great sense yet, and maybe I'll just learn as we play as well of how strong my character is in relation to enemies, right? How many shots does it take to take somebody out? What does armor mean in that situation, right? So I'm okay with learning as we go. I think that's been kind of fun. And as a civilian starting out here, that feels appropriate.
Actually, on that note, I'm still unfamiliar with how gear works, and maybe I should go ahead and establish that. I'm going to go ahead and take one of those engineering kits that one of those
All right.
guys was using along with this.
So, kits of all kinds, be it engineering or one of the many other kits like medical or infiltration, they act as equipment suites. You can use a use of them, which they usually have about 3 uses, to then get 3 uses, or 3 skill dice out of them, which don't affect burnout at all. So even if you're rolling 5 dice, you can immediately use an equipment suite for 3, 4, 5 dice and not be affected by your burnout because you're working smarter, not harder.
Fair enough. That makes sense. All right, I'm going to persuade my friends. Can all of us carry an engineering kit so
Oh
we
yeah,
can?
hell, you can
Yeah.
carry 2.
Yeah.
You can carry
Sure.
2.
Everybody gets an engineering kit. Woo!
But yeah, no, you guys can all get that, and I assume you might want to grab some of that brigandine armor.
Yeah, we need to. We need to just like go through their stuff and take everything that we need, like that armor.
Yep.
Man, this is D&D all over again.
Man,
Nice.
we're just gonna loot the bodies. You know how it goes.
It's how it
It's
goes.
tabletop. Like we got to.
Yep, no, you're able to get the armor, and I will drop you the stats for those before our next session. With that, though, I do want to give one final shout out to the writers of this Arcadia module. Going back up to the top of the document here, Justin Grolk, Timothy Grolk, and Caleb Spurlock, who have done excellent work with this, and also shout outs to our amazing illustrator, Francesco Echart, who has done all of the art for the tokens and such, and this amazing piece that is a work in progress of what will be the official Arcadia cover.
It's definitely a great piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But with that, my name has been Haruka Junko. I've had a wonderful time GMing you guys. I'm really happy with how this has gone. I know I'm ending a little bit earlier than the schedule, but I think this is a good stopping point for right now, just so we don't get in the middle of something else and have to stop midway and have to remember next week.
Fair enough.
That's good.
That's all good.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm very glad that all of you guys have managed, or all of you guys have, had a lot of fun with this. I was a little nervous going into this because I don't really do too many live streams, and the fact that I was doing live stream tabletop was a little worrying at first. But I am so glad this turned out well. We only had minor technical hiccups, and with that though, I'm going to thank our wonderful audience for coming out today. We will be back here next week on Thursday, same time, same place. I hope you guys will come back. If you did enjoy this, please do follow the channel. That way you can get updates on that. I will be posting on my Twitter also when I get updates that I can drop.
And don't forget to check out the Kickstarter.
That too, thank you very much. The Kickstarter that is now at, let me check the monetary funds, $59,000 in the first day.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice. Congrats.
Mm-hmm. And with that, do definitely go check out the Kickstarter. Even if you don't want anything, which I do recommend you get the books. They're really good. The art's really good. A lot of fun to play. Trust me, I haven't been addicted to this system for 3 years. But you can always just make a pledge donation if you want, or even just a pledge without reward. Or you can just share it with your friends. Anything like that always helps, and we're always happy to get these books out here to people who hopefully enjoy them. But as a final goodbye, my name has been Haruka Junko. Everyone else, you may give out your names one last time and give yourself shout-outs too if you stream somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm Jezebel. You can find me on Twitch at Space Princess J. I do stream sometimes. I sometimes GM tabletop, but it's been a while, so. But yeah, also if anyone's gonna be at Gen Con in a couple weeks, I will actually be there. So if you come by the Paizo booth, you can say hi to me.
I
So
unfortunately
jealous.
am not going to be able to make it there, but I do know that Jeff and actually Justin Grolk is going to be there. So you can thank Justin for the amazing module as one of
Heck
the many
yeah.
writers. Just head over to the SMG booth there, which we will be there. But with that, I pass it off to Kadirk.
Nope, I'll keep it simple. Kadirk out.
Awesome. And Snicket, anything you have? Any final words?
No, I'm just an old school Robotech fan. Glad to be in this universe again for sure. Otherwise, it's been fun.
Awesome. I'm so glad that everyone has had fun here. Apologies to anyone with the volume stuff. Some people did point out that I needed to raise the volume a little bit, but besides that, I hope it all went well. Thank you once again for all showing up, and please have a wonderful night. Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.